Welcome to the Deep Dive. Whether you're a gym owner, operator, manager, salesperson, fitness entrepreneur, or maybe a personal trainer thinking about that next big step, well, this deep dive is definitely for you. I'm Bonnie.
And I'm George, and today we're taking you through a really pivotal white paper by Jim Thomas.
Yeah, our goal is to arm you with the actionable insights you need to navigate one of the most critical decisions in the fitness world.
That's right. Because, for anyone looking to expand their reach, their impact, you inevitably hit this crossroads. Should you pour your energy into opening a brand new facility, from the ground up?
Or is it maybe smarter to acquire an already existing gym?
Exactly. And this isn't just about the financial bottom line, though. Let's be honest. That's a huge part of it.
Oh, for sure.
It profoundly impacts your brand, your growth timeline, and just your day-to-day operational reality. As Jim Thomas emphasizes, there's no single universally correct answer here, but there is absolutely a right answer for you.
Absolutely, and that's precisely what we're going to unpack today.
Wow.
Our source material is a fantastic white paper. It's titled Opening a New Gym versus Acquiring an Existing Gym. Which path is right for you?
Right.
And it's penned by Jim Thomas, a renowned gym business expert from fitness management and consulting. So our mission in this deep dive, it's really to distill Jim Thomas's extensive insights, helping you make this crucial business decision with, well, confidence. Let's jump in.
Let's do it.
So let's start by exploring that first path, building a gym completely from scratch. What's the fundamental appeal here? Jim Thomas points out this path allows for total alignment with your unique vision, gives you a clean slate.
It's truly the ultimate clean slate. And yeah, that's incredibly appealing for a lot of entrepreneurs. You inherit zero problems.
Right.
I mean, think about it. No outdated, rusty equipment you have to deal with, no restrictive bad leases from previous owner, and absolutely no, legacy systems holding you back. You get to build from a strong, fresh foundation. And this means your branding, right from day one, can be perfectly aligned with your core values.
Okay.
Your messaging, the visuals, the entire culture of the gym. It's all a direct reflection of what you believe in.
That level of control, especially over branding, that sounds incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
But does that clean slate maybe come with its own kind of pressure, like pressure to get everything absolutely perfect right out of the gate? Does Jim address that?
Well, he certainly implies it by focusing on the advantages, Beyond branding, a new facility gives you complete freedom from modern design.
Ah, okay.
You can incorporate all the latest trends that, frankly, attract today's members.
Yeah.
Things like expansive functional training zones, cutting-edge HII setups, maybe specialized group training pods.
Recovery lounges too, I bet.
Exactly. Luxurious recovery lounges, even those Instagram-worthy social media content corners. Because let's face it, if it's not on the gram these days...
Did it even happen?
Right. Did it even happen in the gym? Yeah. You're not retrofitting. You're designing for today and, hopefully, tomorrow's trends. Plus, you have total location flexibility. You get to choose your market and the precise spot within that market based on real-time demographics, the competitive landscape. Foot traffic patterns, yeah, and hopefully the most favorable lease opportunities you can find. And, of course, the cultural control is huge.
Right.
Every single staff hire, every policy, every value you embed reflects your standards. And that fosters a unified, intentional member experience right from the start.
That all sounds like, well, a visionary's dream, doesn't it? An absolute clean slate.
Right.
But building from scratch, no matter how exciting it sounds, always brings its own set of, practical hurdles. So what are the challenges Jim Thomas flags that often pop up?
Yeah, the big one, the primary challenge Jim really emphasizes is the high upfront investments.
Okay.
The costs pile up, fast permits, construction, getting all the equipment, legal fees, that initial marketing push, hiring staff. It's a significant chunk of change. And he often stresses it's not just the dollar amount, it's that intense, often underestimated cash burn rate before you see consistent revenue coming in. Demands a really robust, patient capital strategy.
Patience and deep pockets, maybe.
You got it. Then there's the longer ramp up to profitability. Unlike buying an established business, it can easily take anywhere from, say, 6 to 18 months just to reach break even or become cash flow positive.
Wow, that's a long time.
That's a lot of runway you need to fund and manage. And critically, you have no existing member base. Zero.
Right. Starting from scratch.
You have to earn every single customer, which demands incredibly robust local marketing and sales processes right from day one. You're constantly attracting and converting new leads.
So it's not just about building the gym itself, it's building the entire customer base from absolute zero. That higher risk profile, well, it certainly sounds daunting. Does Jim Thomas suggest any specific metrics, maybe, or canaries in the coal mine that founders should really watch closely to mitigate that initial uncertainty?
He does, especially, when it comes to the numbers. Without any operational history, your performance projections are basically, as Jim puts it, educated guesses.
Educated guesses, okay.
And that puts immense pressure on your planning and execution. Because if those guesses are significantly off, well, the financial fallout can be severe.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's why he'll later really highlight the critical importance of doing a thorough feasibility study before you commit too much.
Makes sense. So, given these advantages and, well, these pretty significant challenges, who, in Jim Thomas's view, is this path really best suited for?
He identifies several key profiles. This path is often ideal for first-time gym owners who come prepared, armed with strong pre-sale and marketing plans already worked out.
Gotcha.
It's also perfect for personal trainers who are looking to scale their personal brand into a full facility, giving them a physical space that truly embodies their unique expertise. Entrepreneurs targeting maybe an underserved niche or a completely untapped market, they'll find this option really appealing because they can design a concept specifically for that gap.
Right, custom built.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And finally, founders who crucially have access to sufficient capital and, this is key, a solid network of strategic advisors to guide them through all the complexities of a startup.
That paints a very clear picture of who a new build works for. Now, let's pivot. Let's talk about the alternative, acquiring an existing gym. The appeal here, as Jim Thomas notes, is kind of skipping that whole build-out phase and potentially stepping right into a business that's already generating cash. It sounds like a shortcut almost to immediate operations.
It certainly can feel that way. And the most immediate, most obvious advantage, immediate revenue.
Right there on day one.
Day one, you start with a paying member base.
Yeah.
There's no waiting for construction, no lengthy ramp-up period trying to bring in cash. The facility itself is already built out, which means no construction delays, and the equipment is typically installed and hopefully ready to go. You just bypass that entire complex, time-consuming phase.
And having an established market presence, that seems like a huge plus, too. Is that something Jim emphasizes?
Definitely. An existing gym already has, some kind of market presence. Their brand might have already built some community trust, maybe collected online reviews, established some neighborhood visibility. This can save you literally years of effort in building a reputation from scratch, which is incredibly valuable.
True.
And from a financial perspective, it's often more attractive to lenders.
Ah, interesting. Why is that?
Because there are historical financials, there's existing revenue streams. This just makes obtaining financing easier compared to a new venture that has absolutely no track record.
Makes sense. Less risky for them.
Exactly. And ultimately, if you purchase wisely and operate efficiently, you can potentially see a significantly faster return on your investment. The payback period can be much shorter than with a new build, which is a major draw, especially for investors.
Those are definitely compelling reasons to buy. But just like a new build, I imagine there are challenges or pitfalls to acquiring an existing business. What are the potential downsides here that Jim Thomas warns us about?
Oh, there are definitely potential pitfalls. Jim Thomas refers to them as legacy problems.
Legacy problems.
Yeah.
Okay.
You might inherit existing reputation issues, perhaps past negative reviews online, or just a general perception of the gym and the community that isn't ideal. Which means your immediate task isn't just operational, it's actually a PR and rebranding challenge. You have to re-educate the market on what your gym now represents.
So you're managing perception from the get-go.
Right. You could also take on outdated leases with maybe unfavorable terms, worn out equipment that needs immediate replacement, or even, and this could be tough, cultural toxicity among the existing staff. That can be very difficult to change without significant effort.
So you're not just buying the equipment and the space, you're really buying the history, good and bad. It sounds a bit like buying a used car, right? You might get a great deal, but you're also inheriting its whole maintenance history.
That's a great analogy, exactly. And that history can include operational gaps too.
Like what?
Well, you might find inconsistent pricing structures, maybe complete lack of effective sales processes, poor CRM usage, which, often translates directly into missed sales, and poor member retention because relationships aren't being tracked or nurtured.
Right, stuff falling through the cracks.
Precisely. Or just generally low member retention rates that will need immediate and significant correction as soon as you take over. Then there are potential hidden liabilities.
Ooh, scary.
Yeah, things like unpaid taxes, unresolved member disputes, or maybe deferred maintenance issues that were swept under the rug. Without proper due diligence, these can become massive deal breakers after you've signed on the dotted line.
Yikes.
And finally, there's change management resistance. Longtime staff, even longtime members who are comfortable with how things were, might resist new leadership or any updates you try to implement. Whether that's programming changes, pricing adjustments, or even just rebranding, it's a really delicate balance.
Yeah, integrating your new vision with their existing comfort zones. That makes perfect sense. So with these pros and cons laid out, who is the ideal profile for someone looking to acquire an existing gym, according to Jim Thomas?
Well, he says this path is often best for, say, experienced gym owners or managers who are looking to scale quickly, maybe adding another location to their existing portfolio.
Okay.
It's also very attractive to investors seeking cash-flowing assets that have clear upside potential, especially if they're skilled at identifying those undervalued businesses.
The hidden gems.
The hidden gems, that just needs a new strategic hand. Personal trainers or maybe studio operators who want to bypass that initial long ramp-up phase and jump straight into an operational business would also find this appealing.
Mm-hmm.
And critically, it's a strong option for entrepreneurs who are actually skilled in turnarounds, renovations, or rebranding. They see the potential in fixing what's broken and breathing new life into an existing foundation.
That's a fantastic breakdown of both routes. Now, to really help crystallize this decision for you, our listeners, Jim Thomas offers a brilliant side-by-side comparison. Let's stack them.
Absolutely. Okay, so when we look at initial investment, a new gym is generally high. You've got the build-out, marketing, soft launch costs, and acquisition is often medium-high. You have the purchase price plus whatever upgrades are needed.
Right.
Speedy cash flow.
Right.
Slow for a new gym. Often, like we said, 6 to 18 months ramp up. But it can be fast for an acquisition because you have immediate revenue.
And what about risk? That's always a big one for entrepreneurs, right?
Yeah, huge. The risk level is generally considered high for a new gym because there's simply no operational history. You're essentially betting on your projections.
Yeah.
For an acquisition, it's more medium risk. Past performance provides valuable context, even if you still need to be really careful about those inherited issues we talked about.
Gotcha. And control.
Control and customization. A new gym offers full control. Layout, brand, systems, everything from the ground up. An acquisition, more limited unless you're planning pretty extensive rebranding and renovation.
Makes sense.
Brand identity is yours from day one with a new gym. With an acquisition, it might need a complete overhaul or at least a careful evolution to align with your vision.
So you're inheriting a brand identity rather than building one from scratch. And what about the team, the people dynamics in each scenario?
Good question. With a new gym, you get to build your own team from the ground up, right? Hand-picking talent that aligns perfectly with your culture. With an acquisition, you inherit staff. This may require retraining, maybe even some difficult cuts to get everyone aligned with your vision and standards.
Yeah, that could be tricky.
Definitely. For the member base, a new gym starts at zero, requires aggressive acquisition campaigns. An acquisition comes with members already in place, but keeping them maintaining retention and ideally growing it becomes your immediate critical focus.
Okay.
Financing options. Generally harder for a new gym without a track record. Often easier for an acquisition due to that existing revenue and profit history, which makes them more lender-friendly.
Right. Banks like history.
They do. And finally, market validation. For a new gym, it's based on your feasibility study, your projections. For an acquisition, it's based on actual, tangible performance metrics and proven existing demand.
Wow, that comparison table really lays it out so clearly. It definitely solidifies that there's no single right answer. It really, really boils down to your unique situation, your resources, your goals. So if you had to give our listeners a quick framework, like Jim Thomas does, for choosing the right path for them, what would it be?
Yeah, Jim Thomas provides some excellent, really specific guidance here. He says you should probably choose to start a new gym if you possess a truly unique vision or maybe a niche concept that isn't currently being served well in your target market.
Okay.
It's also the right choice if you're launching in a brand new or maybe an underserved market where there's a clear demand gap you can fill. This path is ideal if you have really strong marketing and sales capabilities, because you'll need them to build that member base from scratch.
Yeah.
Also, if you desire complete total control over the facility and the brand identity.
Right, that control factor again.
Exactly.
Yep.
And importantly, if you have adequate capital and crucially, the patience for that potentially longer launch cycle before you see significant profitability.
That's a really detailed blueprint for considering the new build. And what about the acquisition path? When should someone lean that way?
Okay, so choose to buy an existing gym if you prioritize faster cash flow and a shorter ramp-up time to get to operational stability.
Makes sense.
This is often a smart move if you have experience or maybe partners who can expertly identify those undervalued businesses, those hidden gems we mentioned, with untapped potential that just need a new strategic direction.
Yeah.
It's also the path for you if you're comfortable managing change, if you're okay with restructuring operations or executing a full rebranding effort, if you're interested in building a portfolio of fitness assets, scaling quickly, acquisitions can be a really powerful strategy.
Okay.
And finally, it's often preferred if you want access to more lender-friendly deals, because these businesses come with real revenue and profit history that banks tend to favor.
That makes the decision framework incredibly practical. Super helpful. Now, before we wrap up, Jim Thomas offers a crucial bonus tip, something he says can truly make or break you on either path: due diligence. It sounds simple, but it's absolutely paramount, isn't it?
It absolutely is. Non-negotiable, really. Whether you're starting fresh or buying an existing business, thorough due diligence is critical. If you're starting new, Jim Thomas really stresses the importance of conducting a robust feasibility study.
Okay, what does that involve?
Well, it includes a detailed demographic analysis of your target area, a really comprehensive competitor audit to understand the landscape you're entering, and even traffic studies to gauge potential footfall.
Mm-hmm.
The goal here is simple. Validate the demand before you invest heavily in construction, equipment, or signing that long-term lease. Don't just build it and hope they come.
Right. No, they'll come.
No, they'll come because the data supports it.
That upfront research can save so much pain and, frankly, capital down the line. What about due diligence when you're buying an existing gym?
When buying, due diligence is all about digging deep, really deep, into every single facet of the business. You need to meticulously examine the financials, P&Ls, balance sheets, cash flow projections.
All the numbers.
All the numbers. Scrutinize member retention rates. High churn is a huge red flag, usually indicates deeper problems. Understand the existing lease terms inside and out. Assess staff performance. Review all the vendor contracts. Check maintenance logs for any deferred issues or big upcoming expenses.
Leave no stone unturned.
Exactly. And Jim Thomas specifically strongly recommends bringing in a gym business expert to conduct an acquisition audit.
An outside perspective.
Precisely. Their objective eye can uncover hidden liabilities or maybe opportunities that you might miss. It provides a critical layer of protection and insight that could honestly save you from a very, very costly mistake.
That's incredibly valuable advice. So to kind of bring it all together here, it's really clear that both opening a new gym and acquiring an existing one offer viable paths to business success in this industry.
Indeed, they do. The best choice, it really aligns with your unique vision, your personal strengths as an entrepreneur, the resources you actually have available, and, let's be honest, your personal tolerance for risk.
Mm-hmm.
As Jim Thomas wisely states, the most successful fitness entrepreneurs don't just pick a path, they commit to it wholeheartedly. They surround themselves with the right advisors, and then they execute with speed and precision.
Yeah.
And this really raises an important question for you, our listener. Whichever path you might choose, how will you ensure you have the right advisors in your corner and that unwavering commitment to execute with precision?
That's a really powerful thought to leave you with. And if you find yourself grappling with this crucial decision, maybe you're building your very first gym from the ground up, or you're diligently evaluating gyms for sale in your market, or perhaps you're even looking for funding, expert guidance, or maybe a turnaround strategy for a business you already own.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Thomas is available to help. You can reach Jim Thomas directly to schedule a no-obligation strategy call. His number is 214-629-7223.
That's 214-629-7223.
Or you can email him at jthomas@fmconsulting.net.
jthomas@fmconsulting.net.
Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive into what is truly a critical decision for fitness entrepreneurs. We really hope this exploration empowers you to choose the best path for your fitness business journey.